Hello everyone and welcome back to another Division 2 video. Today with a great game between Koenig and Gonzo from FOB Arena Division 1 group phase. And yeah, both these are of course phenomenal players and have been very underrepresented so far for this FOB Arena season on my channel. I don't think I've brought any games with those two so far, and this we're going to correct now. This is a fantastic game. I've actually seen it when it was played. I've just casually watched it and together with some other people on Discord, and it was so great that I really wanted to bring this to you. Now, unfortunately, there's also some bad news today, as Attack Power announced that he will be taking a break from Steel Division 2 content creation. Basically, it's more like he stops. From what I've taken, and that's, I think, a big loss for Steel Division 2, the game and the community, since, of course, you know, he did a huge part of keeping this game alive. He helped a lot of people learn the game, and was just a really nice guy all around. So that is definitely a very sad thing. But yeah, it is what it is. Now, he also sent some people, he also, at least in his statement, sent some people my way. So if any of Attack Power's viewers found their way to my channel, welcome. I'm of course not Attack Power, but I hope I can still give you the content, the Steel Division content that you are looking for. And just, you know, feel free to provide feedback or anything. I have in the past definitely made it clear I also do things the way I like to doing them. But of course, feedback is never a bad thing. Just let me know what you like and what you don't like. And yeah, with that, let's get back to this. So we do have ATF versus 78th. And of course, you have noticed, but I've not touched it yet. We're on a very weird map that we hardly ever see because it is so horrible. But Gonzo is kind of known to do some trolling pics, so I guess that was probably due to him. And we have, yeah, ATF, a division that you don't want to hand to Koenig usually, and we have 78 Sturm, which I'm not sure if it's a good pick here. But yeah, there are some areas where the Sturmschützen and the channel MP44 can definitely do very well. There's areas for 2K, so maybe it's not a bad pick. But let's just go into the decks and see what happens. So let's start with ATF, and there's a lot to unpack here. So the most notable thing about this division, of course, is you do not have any armor in A phase, and you also do not have any AA in A phase, other than some of these Citroën Hotchkiss, which we do not see in this deck. But other than that, you have some fun stuff in A phases or in A phase already, and of course throughout the whole rest of the game. So in Recon tab, this one's actually really packed. We do see a lot of cool things with the AB Scouts, which I think is Sniper, if I remember correctly, the FFI Saboteur, which I think we know. The other AB Scouts, the American ones, Pathfinders, which are just nice, especially because of the radio, and then the Forceman Scouts Prince, which is a really annoying unit. Can kind of fight a bit of area range in his commando. It's not giga busted, but it is super annoying. And then some M8s. Remember, Koenig likes his light armor. Infantry tab in A phase, we have quite the assortment of CQC there with the AB Assault group, the AB Demolition group, and the Forceman. The Forceman, of course, being one of the special units of this division. But I think the AB Assault group is also unique to this division. It's a little bit hybridy, but mostly, I would say, CQC. And at range with the glide rifles, there's some bazookas, and then there's the AB Paras, which, of course, now at 25 points are really good with a sniper and a Bren. But he's actually saving the real powerful unit here, at least when it doesn't come to CQC, for a B phase, which is the Forceman BAR at a nice double wet, which I think is forced anyway. If I'm not mistaken, might be. And yeah, I mean, this is a unit right there in C phase, just some AB rifles MG, which is nice though. And remember, everything here has a rated trait. Or a commando, which includes rated traits, so that's actually pretty huge on a map that has, you know, all these little forests and things like that. In tank tab, again, Stuart's Koenig loves his light armor, and then just some Sherman support. He brings a 2-inch mortar, which is not something we see every day, considering that this is the bad one at 540 meters of range. Other than that, we do have Vickers and the 50 cal, as well as the AB M1A1 Pack 75mm. This is actually really good. Also, yeah, I think Koenig again uses the lighter machine gun here with the Vickers, I think, to get into forward position. This is a channel thing that he likes to do, so because it doesn't get in flame or anything like that. And then the rest is pretty standard, you know, Euro supplies and 2K. AT-tab actually quite light in A phase. I would have expected him to bring another AT gun there. But I mean, truthfully, 78 doesn't have an abundance of armor. But considering that he doesn't really have any mobile answer to it, I would have expected to have at least one more. But I guess Koenig decided that one is enough. This, and it's rated weight. Like, this is huge. This thing is really hard to spot. B-Phaser brings more, and then, of course, the M10. ATAB, again, he doesn't bring the Citroen Hotchkiss, which it is not fantastic anyway. He brings the M16, which is interesting, to say the least. It can force off a recon plane. It is absolutely phenomenal against infantry, but it is a bit expensive for what it does. And then just to both, this is typical Koenig kind of deck building. He can do with those low amounts or numbers of AA and things like that, which I think everyone looking at this will panic if they know that they have to play like this. Artillery tab quite light with some howitzers and 81 mils and some artillery leads. And then the air tab again, very light actually. I would have expected to bring like an AT plane or something like that, because that can be an issue for him. But instead, he just decides to go for a Hellcat, Z-Fire, and one P51 in B phase. So not a whole lot of air span, which for Koenig you would usually expect. Moving on to 78 Sturm Division, I think you all know, and that one got quite a few buffs, so it's going to be interesting to see how that one performs. But the build is interesting, at least. Let's say it like that. And we're going to get to why in a second. So, Intrigue tab, not that much. Infantry tab, this is where it starts to get interesting, but not super crazy. So, the interesting part here is mostly because of the new units or newly buffed units that we can now see in action. So, of course, Sturmschützen got a lot better with the SHG 44 buff. But we also get the Big Light Penny, which is also quite good now. And it also has been moved to 4 availability, which is pretty big. We do see the Viveros, which is an interesting choice. These are super chunky, but not particularly good in terms of fire output. But, you know, the chunkiness is useful. It's not something that you usually take, but then again, it can make it so that you have at least some cheaper options than your usual stuff. It's also surprising to me to see that he brings the Pioneer. We don't actually see any Sturmpeiser, which you have available in this division. But he just goes to the Pioneer, which is now cost efficient. I give it that, and I guess considering that Koenig's deck, I mean, he doesn't know that because I think there's one flame unit in there, if I'm not mistaken. But it is a good guess that he's probably not going to bring that, and that he brings the Force Manager Grenade Throwers too. So I can kind of see the reasoning there. And then of course just the Schützen in A, B, and C phase. He's actually very C phase heavy with a card of Schützen and Sturmschützen. So Gonzo really doesn't want to run out, and this brings it up to impressive 103 infantry units for Maverick, mind you. Tank tab, just Stux, nothing special there. Support tab, also no big surprises, although he doesn't take any flamer by the looks of it, but it takes IG-18s, MG42s, 2 cards actually, which is I think quite popular among the top players. 2K only in B phase, interesting choice there. D tab, Marder and Aven, not really sure why you want that. I guess to bully infantry, but it's not really an infantry. Like, it doesn't do HE support super well, so I'm a little bit surprised about that. Nasan, on the other hand, I can absolutely understand just for the 2K itself. Panzerbuchs, of course, is nice to have, and he can still use that in B phase, still with Stewards and the like. Same reason why he brings Panzerschreck in B phase, of course. There's just no need for them in A phase. More Pack 40s and last ones, so this is pretty usual. AA tab actually quite extensive, which I guess is mostly due to the fact that Koenig is a known air spammer. So I guess Gonzo really wanted to be ready for that, but Koenig kinda played 4D chess there with Gonzo and didn't actually take much of an air force at all. Of course, he has some planes, but it's not that many that Gonzo can probably justify bring out this whole AA tab. Artillery tab, though, this is where things get more surprising again, after we had some surprising 18 infantry tab, with the LAFH 18M. Now, this thing got decreased in price once again from 65 to 55 points. Now, it is still absolutely garbage, but you know, you could argue that it's maybe worth it at 55 points. Now, personally, I don't think so, having tried it, but maybe it is. Gonzo at least definitely thinks, believes it is. And then we have a ton of Nebel Werfers, which in itself is not surprising, but he brings 3 cards of them, 1 in A, not surprising, 1 in B, also not surprising, 1 in C. This is a bit surprising for Maverick, I guess, but Gonzo apparently thinks that he's going to use all of them, and then the Garchab actually quite like just some Recon and the GA188. This again is more along the lines of what we would expect. Alright, back here with the deployment. As always, let's take a quick look at the deployments before we get into this. So Koenig, of course, on the bad side before we actually start anything. The problem is that it's just relatively hard to get reinforcements into there once you're pushed off. Blue side doesn't really have an area where this is the case. Over here, it can get tricky at times. But generally speaking, you can safely reinforce. You have good positions here to support your pushes. You have good positions to fall back to and all these kind of things, which is on red side just a little bit lacking. And you can easily just rush this and get flags at the start. So that's something to consider. But let's get to it. So down south, Koenig has some CQC. In a relatively generalistic deployment, tries to get in here, but nothing too big. Gonzo, on the other hand, very infantry heavy there. Actually deploying over here via that route. It's basically the only way you can get there safely. This way, usually not to be recommended. I can't see yet which infantry goes down, which infantry goes the other way. Maybe it's sorted that way. Not really. Well, it's going to be some sort of infantry, probably CQC in both these positions. And then, of course, the typical rush into that flag over there. For the center, no rush by looks of it. Just, well, at least not a super aggressive rush. But of course, he doesn't have any light armor or the like that can really do that. So it just sends in a lot of infantry with the big light pioneer there as well. 2 of them. They should do fairly well in these yellow forest areas. And some support weapons. Up north, same kind of thing. Generally is more defensive deployment, but with options to push. Definitely quite a few units up here. Usually don't need that much, but usually just put something that I can walk alongside this forest patch here. It should be in cover and it can grab that flag. Yeah, today actually, we forgot. This is why I was thinking it's very short today, but we forgot Koenig. Koenig actually going relatively aggressive, so very passively here. He just accepts that he's losing this flag, probably. It's definitely going to happen here if he deploys like that. Rushing into here, rushing into here, rushing kind of into here. Not super rushy there. Of course, some of his transports are slow, but the Bedford with, not Bedford, the CMP, I think it is, 40 every person, CMP, exactly. That one is, of course, 80 kilometers an hour, and he brings a lot of units in, and a lot of recon units and support units in the Jeeps, which are, of course, going to be fast, and some saboteur in the traction as well. So now, not the longest deployment talk, but of course, this is a map where I don't really know what to say yet, so let's see. Generally speaking, as we said, the way it goes is blue kind of tries to push red off this, and then you can establish some AT guns and the like in this channel area, make it super hard for red to get back in there. Here, same kind of principle. Once red is like, yeah, once it's secured the position here to the extent that red can't really cross the bridge anymore, it's going to be very difficult for red side. Over here, of course, this is the place where red can really push. The only place where that really happens. And even there, you have to go very deep for getting any flags, right? This is the only really good grabbable for red side over there. Here, red has more options, but again, just harder to do so. And Koenig's massive deployment so far seems to work. I mean, it's a classical way of playing. Generally speaking, you just have pick one area, and this is where you're gonna push very heavily. Now here, yeah, the support weapons are not unloading in time, Alex, and they're easily going to be suppressed by all the Schützen. These, of course, are, you know, machine units with MG42s. Quite strong. AB Paras could have unloaded earlier, maybe use a sniper to outrange them, but at the moment they are in their range. My saboteur can't really do much. Saboteur getting into position over here is actually really crucial, I would argue, because then they can keep that forest clear, and the Glide Pioneer can waste a TNT against those and would allow Koenig to follow up with some other units. At the moment, it is 13-11 for Gonzo, though, as he grabbed that flag. Koenig so far has not actually grabbed any flags of Gonzo. MP44 is definitely good here to deal with those Bavarians and Panzerbuchse. I could potentially allow Koenig to move up there into a good position over here. Or Begleit are going to find the AB Para, so absolutely going to shred them. Yeah, look at that. Suppression now is really good of the MP40s, MP44s. Sorry. Leader goes down. That's a huge loss there, but Koenig might actually return the favor there. There we go. Begleitführer goes down. Schützen, though, trying to hold up Koenig's push there. More Sturmschützen coming in now. In this spot, very dangerous. And at the moment, Koenig has no unit position where he could snipe that before he can push. Looks like Koenig's little push attempt here failed so far. At the moment, it's just the AB Demolition Group holding, but he has not had a massive deployment here. Anyway, 14-10 for Gonzo, though, as he pushes forward with his Begleitpioneer. Sturmschützen here in place as well. All of these can definitely easily overwhelm the AB Demolition Group. On the other side, Glider Rifles and AB Assault Group should easily deal with those Bavarians. More of them are coming in. I don't see that really making a difference. Forceman, a leader coming in down south as well. More reinforcement on Gonzo's side. Not unloading yet, so he wants to keep them as a reserve to see where he can use them next. This is a good move, by the way. Remember, guys, you don't always need to unload things right away and drive them to the front line. You do something like this as well. I would expect him, so the way he puts, because if he puts them there, I would expect him to keep them as a backup or as reserves for a push over here, but he could definitely decide to switch the other side if he sees an opening there. Sturmschützen here, getting a little bit too close to the Forceman where he can potentially throw the TNT, but Gonzo is nicely moving it away. And as soon as it is in a position where he can actually use the MP44s and is out of range of the TNT, he switches to an attack move and they pin the Forceman with the help of the Schützen. Wow. Pretty nice there. FFI Saboteur trying to return a favor with their M1 carbines, but can't really do it. More Schützen pushing over here. So nice development here by Gonzo. I think the fact that he deployed heavily over here really saved him. That really stopped Koenig's deployment very nice. It's not something that you usually see, a big deployment over here. You usually see big deployments like here. So I guess that maybe took Koenig by surprise. Strix are being called in. Of course, there's an M1 gun here. Now, you think this isn't the open, this is a bad idea. But remember, it has rate rate. This one also has G shells, which is annoying. So it might actually reveal itself, so it's not that good anymore. But generally speaking, these can actually remain hidden in the open sometimes. Maybe not at that distance. I think that might be too close. But here's the thing. This thing has heat shells with 9mm of pen. That can definitely kill that Stück too. So Gonzo has to be a little bit careful over there. Viparas trying to stop the big light pioneer. They are not in MP44 range, but looks of it. This is really saving it right here. Forcemen are trying to get involved as well. Sturmschützen should really not stand a chance against those. Forcemen will throw the TNT and it will be the end of the Sturmschützen. They're big, which makes a difference, but they're not that big. So that's that. And other than that, we do have a 2-inch mortar in here, actually nicely pinning some of these infantry units. Reinforcements have arrived over here, forcing Koenig's push in that direction off. Gonzo has meanwhile moved his Bavarians and Begleitpioneer into a better position up north. That flag is definitely firmly secured, but for the time being, Forcemen being pushed off by the MG42. Looks like he traded a little bit with the Sturmschützen. 2-inch mortar coming in. This is a range where he can actually do work, but it is close. If they move just a little bit back, not really much he can do, unless it moves up, of course. Begleitpioneer is still alive, forcing the Forcemen further away. AB Paras trying to move into range to have a go with them. Same for the glider rifles. There's not that much damage needed. Oh, nothing here for Koenig. So the plop of Bavarians and Schützen and all these kind of things here actually grabbing that flag, and it's getting close to 59 with Gonzo pushing with this flag. So Koenig's hold here seems to crumble in center. There's still a lot of units here, but it doesn't look really strong, his hold. Vickers is actually a good response here because it is 25 points. It's really just a question of price in that regard, because his infantry is more expensive, of course. So having this to fix things is a nice move there. Don't think he necessarily puts it there because it is a machine gun. assault group is already very stressed out. So if they meet the shortages, they will get immediately pinned, so which is going to be a big problem for Koenig. So he can't win against them. 2-inch mortar, yeah, is aiming where they were, not where they are now. Stück is outranging the ABM1 gun, so the AT can't really do much there. 59 for Gonzo now. Actually, not the way we would expect it with this flag, but he finally secured this one. Got some ground back over here. Still is holding that one. 2-inch mortar. So something must have pushed over there that Koenig decided to shoot that, but at the moment nothing's there anymore. We do see an early Flak 43 in, which is reasonable, knowing Koenig, but by the looks of it, we know Koenig is not going to bring any planes in A phase unless he needs a fighter. Surprised he didn't bring the recon plane though, because it's now moved in a better position, and one is moving down here where he can probably have a go at some of these Schützen, which would be very useful for Koenig as he can force them off from that side. Koenig grabbing some ground as he got the flag down south, bringing it back to 1410. This whole group actually forcing off the Währungs over there. Stück moving in a nice position. This is a really cool position where he can just nicely hold some ground, make it annoying for your opponent to push forward. Yeah, all that Gonzo needs at the moment. Remember, it's a mirror income, so any little ticks that you get are massive. Of course, having a double tick is great, but a single tick is already good. AB Paris squaring off with the MP44 or against, and what's the right term there? Anyway, having a go at it, grabbing this flag, but Forcemen are getting shot at by the MP44. Can a Forceman shoot back against anything? Not really doing that. Weird. There should be, maybe they just barely don't see the Währungs, and it's really just the AB Paris that are in a position where they can be spotted. So it's very unfortunate there for Koenig. Koenig actually grabbing this flag with the glider rifles and the AB assault group, bringing it back to 12-12 for now. And he decided to push using the smoke from the 2-inch mortar, going after Währungs too. The Begleiter used to be here, still threw the TNT and managed to kill the unit from Koenig that was pushing there. Could have easily killed Währungs otherwise. Smoke is not perfect here. Sturmschützen, smoke is in a good spot, but the Sturmschützen actually spot things. Immediately kill off the AB assault groups. Force the other one back. AB demolitions do have smoke. Always forget about that, and are now in full retreat. 2-inch mortar lagging behind a little bit. Another one arriving in a weird spot. It's gonna get killed probably. Paris up close with a bit of motion group. No, should manage force one or kill one of the Sturmschützen, force Gonzo to move the other one back. Further down for Gonzo once again as he regrabs this flag now and is about to push Koenig out of this position in this forces here as well. Forceman and Forceman leader have to fall back. They are out of their smokes, which is very unfortunate for Koenig. But B phase has arrived. Immediately Koenig responds by bringing some Sherman 105s in for the center here. Not really sure what this one is supposed to do. Maybe he wants to start covering off this area, or maybe he wants to prepare for push over here. I don't remember every detail from the game, despite me having seen it, of course, which is natural. At least I hope it is. Down south, though, we do see a massive call in there. So Gonzo has waited with some of his points, by the looks of it, to call in a ton of infantry with some pioneers and an insane amount of Schützen. So that's going to be hard to spot for Koenig. Stop for Koenig. Koenig decides that it is finally his time to bring all his light armor that he loves to use usually. And we do have the Shermans, the Stuarts, and the M8 coming out immediately. Ju-188 also out now, of course, with B phase having arrived and going after the 250 Calci, which have definitely had a dominant part in holding that center. And Koenig will have to say goodbye to those. Oh, Flak 43 has been spotted by the glider rifles, but unfortunately for Koenig, the Flak 43 is winning out against the glider rifles, unsurprisingly so. Glider rifles here versus Schützen. The Schützen are in the open, but the glider rifles have one I never know which is the AB or the glide rifles which have the M1980. No, they have the BR. So, not fantastic. M8 though has arrived, can definitely do it. AB M1A1 Howitzer, the artillery piece, has also arrived. Doing some close range fire support. There is a radio, so that can do a lot of work. AT43 in an interesting position here, I guess, to go after the Vickers. But hasn't loaded early. Oh, and Koenig's plane is out. As the, oh, that's what he was going after. He was going after the Flak 43, which he killed. P51 out immediately. Doing a nice bit of pinning. Schutzneer can't really resist the demolitions group if they have to meet each other there. A nice one coming in into the center as well for the 2K, I have to imagine. Ooh, Forceman Scouts could potentially kill off the IG-33. The IG-33 can easily kill off the Steward as well. No, it's busy with the Vickers there, so it should probably gonna get killed off. Stück can't see the Steward by looks of it, but can see the Forceman Scouts. Panzerbüchse, Panzerschreck, and Stück coming in now. As Koenig is pushing with his light armor. In the center, Koenig's infantry blob in this forest patch here is still holding up quite well. So overall, at the moment, this is a very dangerous phase for both of these players. For Koenig, of course, because he is, at least there's a serious risk of him getting pushed out of the central area. And once again, if you're really pushed out there, it's very hard to get back in. Gonzo, though, sees his front line collapsing, his flank collapsing, and that's not a good thing either. Right? That's definitely a big problem there. Koenig has stopped, though, as he needs to follow up with his infantry. His armor can't just push on its own, of course, because then it's going to run into things like the Panzerbüchse, or the Stück, or the Panzerschreck over there. So, Koenig stopped halted for the time being, which gives buys Gonzo some time that he can use to react properly. More Panzerschrecks moving in. Remember, Gonzo has 8 of them since he brought them in B phase. There's quite a few of those to throw around. M10 having some go at the infantry there. Nice one arriving though. M10 still has the APCR, so he could potentially win out against the Nashorn, but he can easily get out of range, which is a big problem. 13-11 for Koenig, by the way, which is huge for him being on the bad side. But that matters a lot. That makes a big difference. More Panzerbüchse coming in, so Gonzo has decided that this is where he needs a ton of AT, since Koenig has, first of all the light armor here already, but I guess he expects a lot more to come. Looking at the rest of the map, that is kind of reasonable. It's not really realistic for at the time that Koenig really makes a light armor push over here. Yeah, and he brings light armor, but it's going up north. Where Koenig actually has crossed the bridge and is now pushing through the forest. However, the AB powers will meet the big light pennants, and they're going to meet certain doom there. Not much they can do there. Oh, we do see the... Oh, no. It's not the M10, actually. It's the 105. Versus the Nashorn. Of course, HE can also kill it eventually, but that's going to take quite a bit longer than this is going to take for the Nashorn to kill the Sherman. M10. Still just out of range. Oh, that's very unfortunate there for Koenig. Howitzer doing a great job at going after infantry patches. Kills the Panzerschreck. Koenig doesn't know yet, but that's actually huge. But there's another one coming here. Should kill one of the M8s very easily. We'll probably have to reload after that, so you can't kill the other one right away. Koenig has noticed and is falling back. He could have committed, but of course he doesn't know what else is there, so he is choosing the careful play of falling back. 2-inch, going after it too. Panzerschreck will die if he continues any further. Sitting in a nice flank position. Oh, should get spotted here by the Panzerbüchse any second. More Panzerschreck coming in. I think this is maybe a little bit excessive here by Gonzo. I know he's lost one over here. This one is pinned, but he has been throwing them around like, yeah, an endless amount of them. P51 bombed something. It looks like something over here. Oh no, maybe the McLight over there. Horseman died in a transport by not died, but got unloaded in a transport by looks of it. Squaring off against the Bewährungs, but it is out in the open, and the big light helps at close range with the MP44s. Forcemen, not a unit of them, can come in and save the day though. Oh, never mind, the 105 actually pins a bit light before that, allowing the Forcemen to move forward. 13-11 for Koenig still. Howitzer continues going after the infantry there, doing some good work. 600 in position, but not doing anything just yet. M8 also doing a little bit of work. Just standing there, preventing these from pushing forward. Glider rifles are moving in as well. But of course, the Panzerwreck is still waiting there for any potential plays. And it looks like these two here did go down as well. Oh, but the 6-pounder getting a side damage on the Stück. Another one gets a crew panicked. And another one misses by the looks of it. These do 4 damage, right? So, no, they also do 3. Oh, so yeah, not turning off APCR being punishing once again. Oh no, he had line of sight for a brief moment. Lost again. Pioneer now spotted the 6-pounder. Radar trade doesn't make you invisible after all. Just for a while. But eventually have to come back to reality where things as complete invisibility do not exist. 2 105s up north, actually. That's crazy. More Forcemen BR pushing in. 75mm moving in as well. I'm not really sure if that's the RTPs or the... Oh, Nashorn in a position where this thing can actually snipe it. No, it's the RTPs, yeah. So it doesn't have heat. If it was the other one, that could have killed the Nashorn. I think it's in 1500 range. It is. Nashorn now falling back. In the center, some fighting has continued on. Koenig has lost some more units. 105s are now shifted. I mean, the blob here can absolutely eradicate all of this. That should not be an issue. J188 going after the 6-pounder. It has massive bombs and it has 2 of them. So I don't think the 50 cals will really be able to stop that. It is moving away. It's trying its best, but is it going to make it? It dodged the first one, but the second one lands. Yeah, that was to be expected. We have another one of the howitzers now in. The first one is out of ammo, so Koenig brought a new one in instead of bringing any ammo by the looks of it. Other Stück moving in. Oh, if this was a bazooka unit, that would have been fantastic for Koenig, but unfortunately for him it is not. Panzerwreck is probably spotting it anyway. Perhaps these do not see each other. Maybe they just needed to move like 1 meter forward and then it would see each other, but right now they don't. Third down for Gonzo once again, of him taking his flag now and re-grabbing, of course, that one over there. 51 going up north, but there's a flag 43 there to protect it. 51 still gonna get in. It turns the right way, which is huge. If it turned the other way, it probably would have died. Tristan is now pinned, so Koenig has a chance of moving in and grab this flag. The problem is he's quite far away from the rest of his forces, so he doesn't have AA anyway, but even if he had it, he couldn't really protect it. So the Ju-188 is probably just going to come in and bomb this if Gonzo is going to have any issues really retaking this. 105 plops going after the Stück. Not really the engagement you're looking for. Bouncing so far, though. Oh! Was it 6-pounder? No, it was the 105s by the looks of it. They actually got the kill. Wow, that's massive. Down south, Koenig has armor here, but not a lot of infantry, and the Panzerwreck is still lurking around, waiting, patiently. And we have the Panzerbüchse finally spotted though, so they should get killed off. There's no armor coming anyway, but of course any transports that they can see, they can still snipe, and that would still be problematic. 50 cal across the sea here, across the lake, is getting spotted and pinned and potentially soon killed by the Stück 3. 6, but I'm not really sure what Koenig's doing with that one. Over here, it can definitely be useful. Over here, less so. M10 coming in, that can definitely do the trick. You might want to turn off the APCR depending on... No, both of these units should be at a distance where he doesn't need it. Maybe if he wants a guaranteed pen against a Stück, that would make sense, but other than that, he doesn't really need that. Assault group finds the Panzerbüchse, one of them is running, the other one is probably going to die to the Forceman over here. Maybe assault group Alex will die to the Pioneer most likely. More mortars coming in. It's always impressive when people can micro. Koenig has stabilized things. He's going after the Stück with the P51. Flak 43 is trying to prevent that, but can't really do it. Stück is, oh, I was going to look at how damaged it is, but apparently very damaged since the M10 could one-shot it with an APCR. Second APCR going after the Nashorn. Oh, IG-33 helping to pin it down, and it is on the run. Oh, but Nashorn lost line of sight on it now. And, or maybe it was never shooting it. Maybe you couldn't see it, was shooting it the whole time and just didn't see that correctly. IG-33 though going after the 6-pounder. Now 6-pounder had to go at the Nashorn, but yeah, fails to get any kills. Fußmann here versus the Schützen. Can kill him before it has reloaded its TNT, which is huge because that can be used against the Sturmschützen. In otherwise, in a fight that might not be super well. Oh, actually, no, the Fußmann are winning. It's quite decisively so. I mean, that's what Commando and the M1s do to you. That's just that. Down south, Koenig actually regrabbing his flag. So AB Assault Group have survived. Impressive. They do not have Commando, I was going to say. But for some reason, they still managed to do it. Look at that. Bazooka actually killed off the Panzerschreck. Pioneer could kill the glider rifles. Nope. They can't. And the Sherman is moving forward. Panzerbuchse can potentially pin that. But the Sherman should be able to pin that off. Still gets a shooter knocked out. Wow. Massive, massive W there. Panzerschreck moving in. Should be able to finish it off. Emmett here has to be very careful. Bounces on the Stück. Koenig has not noticed. Stück is, yeah, taking a go at the M8, killing it off. 51 going after the Stück over there. If it has been damaged previously, it could get killed here, otherwise not really. These things have massive bomb loaders and they can one-shot tanks, but it is very rare to happen. They can potentially do it, not really seeing it very often. But of course, a damaged tank they can 100% kill if they're not a good hit. But if the fire gets spread out enough by the Flak 43, that's a whole other story. Koenig making a nice push over here. It's a really ballsy push, but I think he's realized that there's not much here on Gonzo's side, and the Stück, of course, it does exist, but the line of sight is not great, so that allowed Koenig just sneak through there. And while the front line here might be collapsing, these are commando units, or in case Davy Rifles LMG Raider, so they will keep up a bubble of front line. And that can be a bit of a problem. J188 having a go at JB Rifles and Fußmann Scouts over here. That's, of course, going to be a juicy target-rich environment there. 6-pounder moving into position. Oh, the Stück is getting close. It's actually very dangerous. 6-pounder can easily finish that off. JB Rifles LMG moving. Raider trait gives you movement speed. That can be huge. Could potentially kill the IG-33 at some point later. Fußmann here actually survived. And I think this is very crucial here so that Koenig can keep up the pressure on this flag. Another Sturmschütze coming in. It has one TNT left, and that it will have to use very well to kill off that Sturmschützen. Oh, another one's coming in. Is it coming for the same position? It is. So I think Fußmann will die eventually. There was also cover difference before that. 51 coming in again for the Bewährungs. It's a little bit further in, but Flak 43 still fails to stop that. And there we go. Little bit of damage. Some pinning. Koenig making another fresh push down south now with the AB Rifles LMG pushing forward. 6-pounder is just barely not spawning a Stück free. Could easily kill that though. Howitzer is going after where the Schützen used to be. Panzerschreck still just chilling there. Can't really do much. Fußmann BR needs to really only be afraid of the Sturmschützen up close. The Schützen each should easily be able to defeat. Oh, and there we go. AB Rifles LMG going after the IG-33. Should have no struggle whatsoever killing that one. M10 going after Nazen again, gets a shooter killed. Can use the second APCR, but now it needs to close the distance. Koenig has put it on a Q move order. Is it close enough though? Once it gets in? No, it needs to get closer. Koenig is realized, and it's just moving forward. I hope it doesn't get stuck on... Oh, it's out of HE, so it can't get stuck on the IG-33. There we go. Still, shooter killed. It gets one shot off. No, it has... Oh, it has HE left. Never mind. Oh, that was a 10. I just saw the 0. So it gets stuck on the edge of 33 and misses the nazone, which has meanwhile moved back. And just as the M10... Oh, no. Just as the M10 moves out of range, the nazone fires the one final shot and gets the kill. Koenig doesn't have an awful lot of those, and there's all these 2 KAT. And we have to remember, he doesn't have any AT planes either, so there's really no way he can deal with that nazone, other than artillery, of course. That's, I guess, the option that remains. A blob of shoots in here trying to stop Koenig's push. Still 13-11 for Koenig, though. It's holding up quite well, considering that he is on the bad side of the map. Look at that, six pounders somehow managed to stay hidden in here. Sturmschützen somehow must have moved past it. A Pathfinder here is also just out of line of sight of the Schützen and Sturmschützen there. Wow, that's impressive. That's really impressive. Oh, there we go, Nazon snipes the transport. So the major fighting is going on down south now, where there is AA, so Koenig needs to be careful if he wants to continue using his planes down south here, where it matters, I would say, the most at the moment. Forceman now out of TNTs, another unit of Sturmschützen coming in. It's also low on health by now. It is still... Oh, wait, after that, she gets double teamed. Triple teamed actually by IG-33 and 2 Nashorns. Let's see if it can actually hold up against Sturmschützen at full health. I mean, it has Thompsons, which are good. It has the M1 Garands, which are also good. And it has Commando. But the SG-44 is really good now. I want to see how this goes. Not well for the Forceman. No, not well at all. They do inflict quite a bit of damage, but not enough. Not enough. P51. Oh, look at that. The AA has been killed off. Maybe by all the infantry pushing forward. So, P51 coming in. After the shoots, interesting, considering there's 2 shoots over, but maybe Koenig didn't notice those yet when he started his push. Abrams LMG pushing forward as well. As more shoots coming from the flank and the Sturmschützen there as well. Potentially be a problem. Forceman scouts are shooting at the Bavarians over there. This flag cheekily grabbed by Gonzo. Any unit could potentially fix that. Couldn't just put anything over here. Or if the Forceman scouts can force off the Bavarians. Now, even then, since there's really no unit, like the closest unit to this flag is probably the AB rifles. Or maybe this one over here. And there's nothing in between these guys and the flags. So there's that. 51 now going after these shoots and blob. Getting good pinning over there. Koenig making very good use of his air force now to pinning all of these units. Going to bring another flag 43, but he's lost 2 of those already in situations where he probably shouldn't have. That's really punishing him there. Another M10 was called in and by the looks of it killed the Nashorn, which allows the Sherman 105 now to have another go. And Braff's LMG just barely holding this flag here. So not looking very good for Koenig at the moment, actually. He has a lot of units stands off, but in the center he's quite weak. Now it is 13-11 for Gonzo, but Koenig could fix that easily by just putting anything over there. Or this force patch will do too, which is not happening at the moment though. But looks like, no, he's moving all of these over there now. It is happening. And he definitely needs to fix that ASAP, actually. Ooh, another flag grab. This one is actually recaptured by a Gonzo, bringing it back to 14-10. As Koenig is going very deep, pushing for this flag here too. More reinforcements coming in. Not for any particular place, just being called in and to see what you can do with it, which is, again, a reasonable way of doing things. J1A going after the AB rifles and over there. Forceman BR are also there, so it's just going to get... Yeah, both of them are going to get killed. The rifles LMG is going to get unloaded by the shoots now, I would think. There we go. Forceman probably wants to after that. Both these go down. Wow, massive kill there. 13-11 still for Gonzo, but this flag now will be grabbed by Koenig. 105. He's being pressured by another Nashorn that was called in. And I don't think there's any escape. Oh, gunsham. Wow, that's very unlucky. M10 was reloaded. Koenig keeping supplies close by. Nashorn still busy with the M10. That could be good. M10 for some reason can't see. Now he can see the Nashorn. APCR gets it bailed out. Wow, massive. This is huge for Koenig. He needed that. He needed that so hard. If he can keep those Nashorns at bay, then that's very good news for Koenig, and that would allow him to actually get back into those positions that he just lost in the center. that might be deciding here. Forceman now going for the hill to allow Koenig to re-grab the flag here. German, without any infantry support, but not really contested at all whatsoever at the moment. Stuart trying to do an encirclement by the looks of it. Or maybe Koenig just wants to see what's there and what he can do with it. More Stuks are now coming in. One again coming for the hill. But at the moment, not actually securing anything. Yeah, look at that. Koenig moving in. Schützen will get easily killed by the Forceman over there. Schützen here now pinned. That should flip the flag now, as the Schützen are also in full retreat. Schützen here getting killed off. P51 up north going after the Stück. Flag 43 is in no position to stop that. But still 30-11 for Gonzo. So Koenig needs to make some plays as we have approached the 30-minute mark. And as we have passed the 30-minute mark, which is not a good indicator for Koenig at the moment. But, you know, he's in a good position over here. Stück did not see the Raider 6-pounder, which takes out the Stück. Huge kill over there. And he's not even get punished for it as it is out of range of the Schützen. Schützen spot the Forceman out in the open. Yeah, Forceman easily forced off. But the Sherman is now engaging as well. Stuart's still in an annoying position over here, not a Stuart pushing. So Koenig has decided that, you know, this is time for him to move over here, actually. So there's once again nothing over there, and especially no AT. So Stuart versus Flag 43. I would think the AT gun win. I don't actually remember what happens here. But I think the AT gun can win that. The AA gun can win that. Sherman versus Stück 3, not the best fight, but the 6-pounder is getting involved. Now it's got to reveal itself though. Stück goes down thanks to the 6-pounder, who got into a nice flanking position. Stuart so far dealt 1 damage. Flag 43 is about to suppress it. 6-pounder is retreating, so actually going to survive. And live to find another day. Could it bring it to 12-12 with this grab over here? But now these two went down after doing 2 damage to the Flag 43. Not phenomenal, but, you know, you would take it. The 75 mils are used quite nicely, going after Flag 43 again. Koenig decided this is the place to push for him. He also has the artillery to support that. And that means he will also soon have the Air Force again to support that. So... as the game goes on, you always have to think about, is it worth going after the AA? Is it worth going after other targets? Koenig decided that it's worth going after the AA. Now, one thing that is very interesting here is that Koenig has not actually brought any AA himself. We do see a fresh push here, by the way. Rattelsalmschi winning out against the Schützen, who were busy shooting at the Forceman Scouts Prince. And if these can fully suppress it, then he can actually move up. He can shoot... He can outrange Sturm Schützen easily, and it should allow him to get back into that forest patch there. But as I was going to say, I think the thought process for Koenig here probably, and he will probably be in the comments to correct me if I was wrong, my guess would be that his thought process here was that he simply doesn't really need it. Yes, the Ju-188 can do a lot of damage, and it has done so far. However, stopping this thing is means that you have to take an investment of probably more than 1 Bofors, or have to have it very close where it can easily get killed. And it's 1 plane, so Koenig's conclusion is probably it can't possibly do that much damage that it is worth buying all the AA that you need. Because we have to remember, if Koenig buys AA over here, the Ju-188 will just appear over there or over here. There's always places where you can use your AA, your Air Force, if there's AA in other areas. So Koenig's, that's just me guessing, of course. But Koenig's full process might have been something like this. It's just not worth it at the moment. And that he can just tank the damage that he does. And that you will overall probably benefit him more if he invests into actually pushing. M10 used the last APCR. It was not reloaded this time. On the last one, gets a pen, but fails to kill it fully. Stück here actually pushing off Horseman. Schützen nicely approach from cover. It's a really nice micro there by Gonzo, so that they can actually get close enough. Although this thing, yeah, it's a regular one with the TNT, so it's maybe not that good. 59 for Koenig, though, as he actually grabbed these 3 flags right here. It's pretty impressive. Panzerbuchse finishes off the Stewart, and I might have finished off the Sherman too. By the looks of it. I don't know what else could have killed that, because yeah, Stu's definitely not in position to do that. Flak 43 goes down to the AB Rifles LMG. That's a huge kill there. Raider Trade doing its thing here with the bubble. Oh, absolutely huge for Koenig. He's about to lose that flag though. That's going to bring it back to 14-10. But if he can extend to this flag, which he now does with the AB Rifles moving that way, he can get another 15-9. Now, Schützen and more Sturmschützen, most importantly, have arrived, so the forest patch here should be once again more difficult for Koenig to push, and the Fußmann BR are definitely not the unit that you want to send against Sturmschützen. So maybe Koenig is actually forced off that forest. Moment doesn't really look like he has a way back in there. Horseman scouts, I always forget, I think they do have a molly. Yeah, they do have Volley P. So that combined with some other units could potentially push back. I think. Koenig now grabbed this flag, but yeah, Gonzo managed to force him back from this one with the nice Sturmschützen over there. So making it difficult for Koenig to get his 59 that I think he might need at the moment. Because you have to remember, things are not always going to be the way they are at the moment. Koenig's hold here is not exactly strong. Oh, Forceman BR killed the Stück with its bazooka. Oh no, the 6-pounder wasn't. Never mind. I was like, this is a bit far, isn't it? But a 6-pounder, of course, that would explain it. Schützen here get unloaded by the Forceman BR. And they don't even spot it. Oh, it's just because of the way the building is. Out of cover versus in cover fight. Forceman BR, absolute beasts. We are into M1 range. Look at them shred, yeah. Never underestimate the M1 Garand. Absolutely fantastic rifle there. Oh, look at that. Koenig using his artillery to actually kill the Sturmschützen here to get this flag back. A really nice use of artillery. Sometimes you just have to look at which one is the closest flag you can get and how can you get that. Of course, that's logical, right? But sometimes the answer is, well, you can't really get it with infantry. You can't, or with any particular units, you can't move there. But sometimes Artie can do the trick. It's really nice that we see that right here. Strick trying to re-grab the flag. AB Rifles LMG moving back with the Force and BR still there. This one has a bazooka. Can easily kill that Strick if Gonzo doesn't pay attention. But it managed to bring back to 12-12. And Koenig still is down in tickets. So Koenig needs to... Yeah, Koenig needs to speed things up here a little bit. Get more flags. And get it going again. Force and BR, unfortunately for Koenig, are definitely not going to do that as the Schützen are moving into either kill it off or surrender it. Another Sherman coming in. There's not much AT left over here. The Nashorn can definitely deal with it, but soon we're at a range where the Sherman will not struggle at all to pen the Nashorn. The Sherman will shoot first, and it will shoot faster, I would think, if I recall correctly. 7 rounds a minute, 7 rounds a minute, plus the vets is probably going to be like 9 or 10. So yeah, should be very much in favor of the Sherman. Also, you have to remember that Nashorn will have to turn first, which the Sherman does not. And on top of that, the fast aim time of the Sherman, not a good fight for the Nashorn. And 13-11 for Koenig once again as we approach the 40-minute mark. Of course, doesn't mean anything, but it just means that 40 minutes have passed. But we have 10 minutes left for the game. And Koenig will need to decide that for himself now if he wants to have a chance of winning this. Can't wait any longer. Horsemen, scouts just forcing off the Sturmschützen over here. German, pinning them as well. It's actually helpful as the Forceman BR can still hold the flag that way. It's in a spot where Schützen can't actually see it. Oh, huge bombing run over there. Killing the Forceman BR, but there's another one in there here already. Moving closer to Stück 3. Can he get a kill maybe? AB Rifles LMG here. Was a Schützen. Not sure if this is a good fight. I don't think it is. It's only 5 mils going after Sturmschützen, but fortunately for Koenig, his unit over here dies, so now Sturmschützen won't grab the flag then. Oh, this was another that was already pinned by the by the M10. So Sherman gets an easy one shot. Grabbing this flag for good. Sturmschützen can't really do much. AB Scouts trying to move into the forest, maybe not the best move. Admittedly. Sturmschützen here re-grabbing the flag. Forceman BR though. Oh, actually, no. In the forest, can't really do much against it. 14-10 again. If Koenig can somehow kill the Schützen and Sturmschützen here. Oh, yes, more Forcemen and AB Rifles moving in. That could do the trick. That could do the trick. That could bring this flag back to him, potentially. That's what he needs. At the moment, not looking good. Although, at a single tick, half of this. No, he would do it. All he needs is a single tick at the moment. The game would end in about 18 minutes, half of that, which is what we have, 9 minutes, or actually soon more 8-ish. But somewhere here, so Koenig would actually win if this was the case. So looking good for him at the moment. All he needs is a single tick, and it looks like he's actually going to secure a 59 for a short moment with this flag flipping as well. He doesn't have a super strong hold on a lot of flags, so like this one he barely holds. This one is okay now. This one is not super strong, and J180 is coming in. Oh, it's actually going to bomb his own units as well. Koenig is bunched up. All of them are moving in one blob, so not much Koenig can do. Now he's spreading, but it's way too late. He might not lose all of them. Maybe he does, though. But at least all of them are going to be pinned. No, it didn't. It didn't drop the bombs. Why did it not drop the bombs? Is it? Oh, I think I know what happens. What happened? I think Gonzo adjusted too late. At which point the plane couldn't adjust anymore. Meaning, or he retargeted, he retargeted too late, at which point the plane couldn't adjust anymore, and instead had to stop the bombing run and have another go. That could have been what happened here. Stück is in now, up close. Of course, we are barely not holding the flag, but Koenig grabbed the flag as nothing. Sturmschützen moving in to fix that. 16-8 for Koenig at the moment. Doing very well here. J188 coming in once again, but this time Koenig is not in a bad position anymore as he has spread out. AB rifles, LMG, as long as they can stay out of range of the Sturmschützen, they should have no problem dealing with those, especially with the cover difference that is coming. You have to remember radius rate means they move faster too, so they can just outrun the Sturmschützen and then secure the position. Rifles, LMG still holding the flags. 19-5 now, with this flag being actually re-grabbed by Koenig with his Fußmann moving back in. Oh, he's losing this flag though, 16-8, but he has grabbed this one with the Fußmann that used to be over here previously. AB rifles have moved in to grab that flag. And two Stuarts are, Sherman's actually pushing again, securing this flag for good now. Oh my, Koenig is coming in super strong, and of course I knew that, but I can't remember, I don't remember everything that happened here, and I'm still surprised by some of the plays that we see. 2 P51 just circling here. I guess Koenig just keeps him ready to go in when and where he needs them. He decided, of course, that this is not the place to go because Flag 43 is still alive. So he is shifting to the far south, and I assume he's wings north somewhere. I'm not really sure where. No, he just wants to keep him there, sitting there and chilling. M16 is actually coming out, so Koenig's probably running low in things, but Gonzo surrenders. Koenig taking a win versus Gonzo. Very impressive game right there. 44 minutes, and I mean, on Ilomantsi, on the bad side, that's very impressive. And honestly, deserved for Gonzo, since I'm pretty sure, knowing that he likes to troll with his map picks, is probably him that picked him up. So that's what we call karma. I'm not hating on Gonzo, just to be clear here. But again, he is undoubtedly the best active player at the moment, and it is a great achievement to win against him. So I love to see that just for that reason alone. Now, if you look at the chronology, we can definitely see that Gonzo, and we saw that in the game as well. Gonzo had a very good start. Koenig struggled to get started, and you also have to remember that some of these units that Koenig is not cheap. Same is also true for Gonzo's unit, though, by the way. But towards the end of A phase, Koenig could start recovering, and then it was, switching back and forth a little bit by the looks of it, until Koenig, I think there's just always a little bit more reds than blue from there on, and that managed to finally secure him the win. Really nice play there, and once again it shows exceptionally well how the Raider and the Commando trade can be absolutely powerhouses on the right map, and they've played in the right way. Yeah, we can definitely see Fußmann there very well. AB Demolition Group actually impressive there. More Fußmann, that was to be expected. The 105s, they're leading the Stück, insane. And other than that, just some more Fußmanns of various sorts. Oh yeah, 6 pounders. The 6 pounder down south was absolutely phenomenal, of course. M10 actually killing 2 nice ones. I think we've only seen 1. And that was it. On the other side, we do have Schützen at the start, especially doing a lot of work, another one. And then we just have a lot of units that did decently well. That's very nice to see. J188 doing a lot of killing that. Definitely, that was definitely noticeable. Duke 3, that was the one down south. Nice to stop Koenig's push over there. Last one, of course, doing decently well too. Same for the other one. That was definitely a huge pain for Koenig there. And if some of these engagements would have done just a little bit differently, I think Koenig might have lost that due to the last ones just blocking him off in the center. But congrats to Koenig, a very nice game there. And yeah, hope you also enjoyed it. I hope you had a great time, and thanks for watching. See you all in the next one.